Hello everyone, I am Medha and welcome back to Prep Talk. This is season 1 of Understanding APs, episode 1. In our first episode, we'll be discussing the importance of APs with our director, Shinjay Ray. Shinjay has been helping students with all the questions and confusions around APs. So over to you, Shinjay.
Hi Medha, thanks for bringing me in. Pleasure to communicate information regarding APs, and I look forward to a very interactive session. So if you have questions on behalf of students, uh, please feel to shoot. So
Definitely, we have a lot of questions for you, Shinjay. So let's begin with our first question. Why are APs so important?
okay, so let's understand what APs really are. AP stands for Advanced Placement. So there are three advantages of taking an AP. So if you are applying to a US college or a UK college, you show that you have taken enough initiative in the specific subjects and gone beyond your school academics. So APs are college level courses which you
Right.
get to do in during your school. So while you submit your applications, you not only prove that you have done whatever you need to do back in school, but you have also proven that you have taken extra initiative to cover college level courses in some specific subject areas, and you have fared well.
Very well. So, are there any rewards after this college application as well? Like, we understood that it helps in college applications, but what after that?
Absolutely. So APs initially were taken for college credits. So before you enter a college, if you so let's say you have gotten your acceptance and then you are going to the college. If you have gotten a 4 or a 5 in specific APs, you wouldn't have to study those subjects for the first couple of years in college. So you also end up saving some tuition fees.
Right.
So APs not only help you get into a college, but also helps you get credits.
Right.
So you don't have to study those subjects because you have already done that and you have proven your skills in those areas.
Right. So, it benefits the students in the long term process as well.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, now that we are through the importance, can you please tell us from so many AP courses that College Board has to offer, how could a student select the courses which are most apt for them?
How APs basically, how the subject selection matters. So you have streamlined your subjects in 11th or 12th.
Right.
You are somewhat aspirational you have figured out what you will be majoring in.
Correct.
You have 2-3 options in hand. Not that you have basically frozen, okay, I'm going to apply for physics. Maybe you are also, you have interests towards computer science.
Right.
So their APs have various papers. So if you are looking at STEM, Calculus BC has the maximum amount of weightage. If you are
Yeah.
looking for some specific engineering which has to do with physics, so definitely take physics. You can take physics 1, you can take physics 2. You can take physics C mechanics, you can take physics C electrostats and magnetism. Let's say you're applying for computer science major or computer science engineering, then you should definitely take a computer science A or a computer science principles paper.
Right.
So it depends on what major you aspire to do.
Right.
And same thing goes with someone applying for an economics major or business major. Economics are the subjects that he would have to study during his college. So your subjects are based on what you plan to major in. This is the first and foremost criteria, and this applies to most of the Indian students who basically not only Indian students but students who are not in an IB or an international board, who are in a board like a CBSE or ICSE, and they are trying to prove their rigor or their mastery in certain subjects based on what they apply for their majors in. Also, for IB students, I have a small piece of advice. If you, let's say there are groups,
Right.
there are 6 groups from where you will have to choose your subjects. So let's say you haven't been able to select a particular subjects because you have already, exhausted the options you
Yeah.
have had. Now, you still want to, let's say, add a psychology or a computer science or a statistics, you can do that as well. If you are interested in history or geography, you can add one. That shows that you have taken some extra initiative.
Right.
You are trying to
Diversify,
prove that,
yeah.
diversify. You're
Yeah.
trying to make your profile a little unique.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Very well. Okay, so now let's say a student is aware what AP courses they would like to proceed with. So how do they prepare for it? I mean, what should be the ideal process for them to prepare? The timelines that their preparation should fall into, everything that comes under it.
So for an Indian student who's in a CBSE, again, I'm highlighting CBSE and ICSE curriculum. So see, Pythagoras theorem is same everywhere.
Right.
So the calculus that you learn in school, they are similar to what you learn in APs
Right.
as well. But APs are very application based. The theory is the same, but how you apply, you need to do a lot of practice papers. And please note the fact that APs are college level content. So
Right.
it not only gives you a head start in school in 11th or 12th. Let's say, for example, physics 1 is
Yeah.
more or less what you have in 11th, or physics C, electrostats and magnetism, or physics C, mechanics. These you'll need certain prerequisites before you even touch those content.
Right.
So someone who's taken extra initiative has gone ahead of the school. They can probably do it in 11th or 10th as well.
Right.
But these are exceptional students. However, if you want your how you want to understand how you prepare throughout the year, you can take extra initiatives, you can take external help, but most of the content that you learn would be in your curriculum, in your school syllabus only. You need to understand how a paper is assessed, do enough practice tests, get them evaluated, understand where you are going wrong, because it's all about application.
Right.
And very less about theory.
Okay, so now that we know how to prepare for APs, when
Let me also add,
Okay.
I'll just
Yeah,
interrupt you. Don't think APs can be done in a span of 2 months or 3
Okay.
months and right, you just move into Jan or Feb and then you start preparing for your APs. Subjects like calculus BC or calculus AB for that matter, these are difficult, these are very challenging, these carry a lot of weightage. So spend a good deal of time, spend at least 6-7 months understanding the concepts, procuring enough practice papers, looking at previous year's papers. So these are very important. Don't
Right.
try to finish things off in a span of squeeze things in a span of 2.5 months.
So basically, a student should not just put off APs for their 12th standard. They should start a little beforehand.
early so that you
They have
manage
enough
things
time.
well.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
school academics, it goes without saying how important school academics are.
Exhausting
So those come
too.
first. Yeah, absolutely. Exhausting as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
So you need to balance well so that things don't pile up at the end, and spend enough time throughout the year. And it is also very important to plan your APs
Right.
correctly.
Right.
Right. There are certain subjects that you can't take unless you move into 12th.
Right.
However, there are subjects which you can actually prepare when you are in 9th or 10th.
Right.
They don't need any prerequisites. You can begin right from the scratch.
So since you said that, I would like to ask you a question. Now, it's not just the curriculars that students are, tied with, right? It's other standardized tests as well. Usually, every international students go for SAT or ACT. So
Absolutely.
how would you, advise students to squeeze in APs with other standardized tests?
So you need to plan your timeline very well. You have to have a plan A, you have to have a plan B. When I say plan A, so you have a tentative idea of okay, I've moved to 11th. I would take my SAT in the end of this year, probably November, SAT or ACT in November or December. What if I'm not happy with the score?
Yeah.
By that time you already know the content. Probably push yourself a little, take more papers and go for a second shot. Meanwhile, APs are so SAT and ACT, like everyone knows, it's conducted 4 to 5 times a year, whereas
Yeah.
APs are conducted only once. That is
Right.
between May and June.
Right.
So you'll have to plan your timeline well. Maybe plan your, if you are an exceptional student, you are managing your academics well in in 10th, then you can also start your preparations in 10th. So again, I repeat, provided you are taking care of your school academics well.
Right.
And if you don't want to take SAT or ACT in 10th, then you can probably figure out an AP, papers like microeconomics, statistics, or computer science. If you have some sort of background, it is possible to take APs when you are moving from 10th to 11th.
Right.
Or even when you are moving from 9th to 10th, you have just moved to 10th. So you can take
You
APs,
can.
yeah.
Okay, so on that note, I'll just like to tell our audience that if they need any help with their test timeline counseling, you can always drop us a mail at info@tutelaprep.com and we'll get back to you.
Yeah,
So-
that sounds absolutely fine. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I love interacting with students.
Yeah.
They come to me, I help them figure out their timelines. I give them plan A, I give them plan B, I give them plan C, keeping in mind what their aspirations are.
Right.
So that is what I do. I mean,
Yeah.
I keep on meeting students, I keep
Yeah.
on meeting parents. That's exactly what I do. So I'll be more than happy to, guide you through.
Absolutely. So I hope this session was very insightful for you guys, and we'll see you in the next session. This is Medha,
This is Srinjay.
and we are signing off. Stay tuned for episode 2, where we'll be understanding AP Physics.